Hey, Nick, welcome to Crosswalk Talk. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man.
Nick Shakoour, who portrays Zebedee in The Chosen, has a new book. And your new book, Nick, is Transformer, Awakening from a Spiritual Coma. I read that and wanted to read it instantly. I love the Amazon description, as you and I were discussing a second ago. The Amazon description says this: buckle up and ride along with Nick as you escape civil war, uprisings in the Middle East, find refuge in a new country, dive into a chaotic acting career, and unexpectedly encounter the creation, or the creator, I should say, of the entire universe. Nick, let's talk about this book. In this book, you describe a profound spiritual awakening. Share more about that experience. We'll get to the Middle East stuff in a second here in Beirut, but how has that spiritual experience kind of just transformed your life in recent years?
So it's transformed it in many ways, some of them being unexpected. And to clarify that, it's so, you go through, in my case, I describe in the book as this kind of 20-year tumultuous, not really getting any breaks in life, both on the relationship end and the career end. And even when there are, peaks, there seem to be more valleys than peaks. And the peaks never really paid off in the long run. And so there was this constant kind of inner void that I was in a race to the finish line with. That if I could reach the finish line first, then I could finally beat it and be happy in life. And so, as time went on, that quickly presented itself as not being completely true, because I was starting to book things like, I mentioned in the book, I booked the voice of Care Bears, and animation was my ultimate dream because I come from the world of VO. I never wanted to be a recognizable, face on camera because I was super shy. So all these different things, including a breakup that was the catalyst, that would regurgitate and send me into a spiraling cycle for years and years of betrayal, loss, letdown, betrayal, loss, letdown. And it really led to a lot of mental anguish and frustration and emotional volatility. To the point where people were asking me if I was using substances, and I would say, no, I'm not actually. I've never done that in my life. Yeah, but bro, you're acting like somebody that's like, they've been on stuff and they're trying to quit. I'm like, no, I've never touched any kind of substances at all.
Mm.
So it even shocked me and confused me and my family, the amount of volatility and the emotional instability that was happening, all triggered by an eventual breakup, which is in a chapter called "Is This Love?" with the question mark. But it wasn't necessarily so much that one particular thing, but it was that one particular trigger that then sent me into this spiral, which would eventually lead to me being on The Chosen, continuing to experience an accelerated version of that turmoil. And so a lot of word out there is recently this kind of people have created this fantasy, I think, in their minds of that he got on the set of The Chosen and he experienced God and he was saved. And it's so romantic and it makes for like a better, I guess, narrative. But I mean, that couldn't be further from the truth, only because although I loved being on set, of course, and obviously people could see I was having a blast, but it didn't resolve this inner growing void that was becoming scary to deal with and live with. Because I'd be on the show, I'd be on the set, I'd do Zebedee, here I am bringing joy to lots of people, and then I'd go back to my personal life and it'd just be like a dead desert.
Mm.
I was like, this is not fun. So I kind of laugh when people say, oh, he was saved on set. It's like, well, it's been a long time on set and I still wasn't saved. Again, it just goes to show you God meets people in a specific place on a specific day on a specific time. And that's God's doing. That's not my doing. That's not a TV show's doing. But God can use things like a TV show like The Chosen to get you in the right place so that you can be invited to a specific church conference where 9 people are going to be praying over you. Next thing you know, you're feeling like you're in a massage chair and you're frozen and your cells are vibrating at warp speed. And the transparent presence of God rises up in front of you about 7 stories tall. And you're about to faint out of sheer not even being worthy of, of his majesty.